Alright, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the GESC Indonesia European Region Qualifiers. We have a losers bracket matchup to kick things off here for today. Best of 3, as always.
5 seconds remaining.
This will be followed by the winner bracket finals. Again, this 4-team tournament. Only one of these teams advancing on to the main event, that is the minor. Don't let that fool you, though. I always feel a little off whenever I say minor. I mean, I know that's the appropriate title of these tournaments, but I almost feel like it shouldn't be, because it's still a $300,000 prize pool. You know, some significant points on the line towards the Dota 2 Pro circuit, etc. It's still a pretty big deal, to say the least, going to a minor event. So these 4 teams, these are 2 of them, obviously, and they're right now competing in an elimination match, as we have Double Dimension going up against Team Kinguin here in our first best of 3. So just to clarify right off the bat, I know there is some confusion in chat. This is a rescheduled match. It was actually set to happen after the following series of Penta versus the Final Tribe. However, they had to reschedule it to much earlier in the morning. That's why it's now the first match at a much earlier time, and then this will be followed up again by the Final Tribe versus Penta. So just to get that out of the way off the bat right here. But other than that, I am Breaky CPK, going to be your host throughout today. Going to kick things off with doing a solo cast here. Hopefully I'll be joined by my co-caster in a little bit. Again, an early morning start. Kind of somewhat last minute, so wasn't able to get the co-caster up in time just yet. But again, very, very likely will be joining me throughout the rest of today. We got a draft, though, underway. Let's go ahead and start taking a look and see what we do have. Double Dimension going to line up with a Bane Elder Titan. On the other side, Kinguin going to go Night Stalker into Witch Doctor. Night Stalker, I'm very curious about that start. Night Stalker specifically, not a go-to popular position 4 hero as of late, but there are some teams that still like to prefer him, and I believe Kinguin is definitely one of those. So in that sense, maybe not the most surprising, but going to go with the Night Stalker Witch Doctor. Bane first pick on the other side by Double Dimension. Again, Bane's been an interesting hero to see throughout these qualifiers. Again, started yesterday really. We saw Bane a couple of times, I want to say, and again, Bane's also another one of these heroes that seems like he's died off the meta of sorts when it comes to top-tier support options, but who was running it yesterday? Wasn't it? I want to say it was actually Kinguin running it yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double-check that real quickly. Kinguin did draft it in Game 2, at least, yeah, against the Final Tribe, and I guess that was the only time that we did see it, to be fair.
Enchantress.
But, Double Dimension, gonna run with it here, again, along with the Elder Titan. I do love the Elder Titan. Elder Titan's a fun hero to watch. A support hero that could definitely hit very hard if you need him to with an Astral Spirit, but also great setup, with the sleep as well from Bane, the Nightmare more so. You got the Elder Titan Echo Stomp to follow up. There is a lot of heavy lockdown here on the side of Double Dimension already. As far as Kinguin goes, though, they're going to third pick an Enchantress. And kind of one of these other niche heroes of sorts that some teams just seem to prefer over others. And Kinguin sticking to that game plan, one of those teams. Pugna going to be the response, though, for Double Dimension on the other side. And, well, we're starting to pick up in this draft, apparently, as both teams getting fairly confident when it comes to their drafts. We have Phantom Lancer now coming out for Team Kinguin, so the PL pick, interesting stuff there. Of course, a diffusal candidate, and the idea of just mana burn in general will be pretty strong in this game. Now, there is a, Pugna's Nether Blast is, I guess, a little bit concerning for Phantom Lancer to deal with, and the idea of Decrepify now. Of course, Diffusal Blade no longer doing the purge itself, so Decrepify still will be a pretty strong ability against the likes of the Phantom Lancer, but overall, you can see what maybe they were thinking with the PL, and disjoining with Doppelganger in response, and just a solid core to run with. But now Double Dimension has a little bit more time to react in terms of what they maybe like up against the PL, and Sand King is a hero that makes sense. Probably going to be more of the offlane Sand King as well. Try to get him that blink as soon as possible, and look to be the strong initiator, and also Caustic Finale. Just in general, his epicenter going to be potentially pretty strong this game. Also more magic damage to work with against the likes of the Enchantress, as my game just decided to leave for some reason. That was odd. Let's hope that's not a sign of what's to come here today.
Dire team ban.
And we're back? Okay. Cool. Anyways, bans to follow before we get into the final picks for either side. But yeah, the magic damage going up against the Enchantress. Of course, with that untouchable passive.
10 seconds
another
remaining.
kind of strong tool in response. So team fight's also really powerful
5
on the
seconds
side of
remaining.
Double Dimension. Kinguin's going to be more about looking for ganks earlier on in the game and throughout the laning phase and, you know, moving on to that into that mid-game even. So you can kind of see the themes coming together for either side. So final ban set to happen. Double Dimension, they probably still need their safe laner, you figure. And do they get somebody that's even more assistance with all this synergy, perhaps? Or, you know, something like a Faceless Void could be really interesting for Double Dimension. Gyrocopters feels like he would be a strong pickup here. Or they could, I was going to say, or they could go more of this 4-1 strategy, something like a Terrorblade. However, Terrorblade is now going to be banned by Kinguin, so don't want to give that up here. But we do have, again, the Gyrocopter. Does stand out to me as a really strong hero here. It definitely fits the theme of the lineup, the call-downs, really good follow-up to both the Echo Stomp as well as Sand King Burrow Strike initiations. Just in general, really strong, you know, has a reliable source of magic damage to go up against the likes of Enchantress. And yeah, there was, for those that missed it, first off, yesterday's matches were a lot of fun. We had 2 best-of-3s, of course, and one of them went the distance, the other one at 2-0. But even in the 2-0 series where Double Dimension got knocked down to the losers bracket by Penta, there was a very entertaining series, and we saw some quirky stuff, including, it was Penta, right? Yeah, Penta ran a Gyrocopter with an Axe earlier on in the game, and it proved to actually work out pretty damn well. So, was fun to see, but I don't know if we're going to see that this time around, at least the Ags pick up. But again, a Gyrocopter continues to make sense still for me. Like I said, that Faceless Void.
5 seconds
A 4-1
remaining.
strategy, maybe surrounding... They could go more something like a Juggernaut as well. Get a lot more physical presence. A solid laner. And one that does bring plenty of late game. Of course, Omni Slash may not be the best this game, though, so no.
Shadow Fiend.
Can't say I saw Shadow Fiend coming, but Shadow Fiend's just one of those, if you can fit him into your draft, you want to try to pick him up. You know, again, it was Tralfon the other day, and definitely somebody where I consider a very knowledgeable player, and that's why I preferred to like to co-cast with him quite a bit. And he brought up a point that he thinks Shadow Fiend is arguably the best mid-hero right now in the competitive scene, and just what he brings to the table and what he can do. And even, yes, he's susceptible to getting ganked, but as we saw yesterday, and just one of many examples, even if he gets locked down early on, he can recover so quickly with Raze farming in the jungle, and he could still take over and be that dominant carry in the game. So it does fit the theme of the lineup. Now, that probably means that we're going to see more of a safe lane Pugna here, I guess. And now Viper is going to be the final pick. Interesting. So Viper, Phantom Lancer core. But Viper, very strong matchup, as really against anyone, let alone the likes of a Shadow Fiend. So I wonder if we're going to see a safe lane Shadow Fiend here. And maybe put the Pugna mid instead. Not that that will necessarily be that much stronger of a matchup, but to guarantee perhaps more farm on the Shadow Fiend, but at the same time, Kinguin could do an aggressive lane of sorts, you know, possibly with a Night Stalker Enchantress at least. And can they fight that off? I mean, Bane in the lane is potentially pretty strong as far as a babysit support.
10 seconds
yeah, no,
remaining.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect, actually. Excalibur is the one playing the Shadow Fiend, and he usually is, of course, a mid-hero or mid-player himself. So maybe they do just plan to just match him up against the Viper there in that mid lane. Okay, I'm getting a message. Apparently, other streams were also having some DCs during their game, so I guess it could be a universal issue. So, crossing the fingers, hoping that that is not a an issue we at least have to deal with much. But apparently if I do DC during the game, then I can just reconnect back in, though. Yeah, again, guys, I see more confusion being brought up. I get it. Well, the schedules were suggesting that Penta versus the Final Tribe was supposed to be first. Not the case. Well, again, it originally was the case, but this match, Double Dimension versus Kinguin, got moved up to earlier in the day. So the Penta versus the Final Tribe technically is still at the same time. That was the schedule from originally. However, it's just now happens to be the second series because of this one getting rescheduled to earlier in the day. So there you go. All right, so the game's going to be paused to kick things off here, but should be going into it shortly. So yeah, I don't know if I necessarily lean towards either way when it comes to the lineups here. It's more of a case of the different themes of the lineup. So again, Double Dimensions, going to be more focused on fighting as a team, getting perhaps Shadow Fiend. I don't know, what kind of builder should we expect on Shadow Fiend this game? Probably more of the drums, S and Y, I would think, rather than that Yules build. Yules this game, I guess, is okay, but yeah, I need him to be quite a physical presence in this game. Whereas Pugna, of course, can take care of dishing out plenty of magic damage and throughout the game himself. Although, obviously, Shadow Fiend, at the same time, going up against a PL, may like the idea of relying more on races and Requiems than anything. So, curious. But then you got Viper with Corrosive Skin. Ugh. God, this is the second game we've seen Viper now between yesterday's series and today. Good old Viper. Exotic Deer going to be planted here. Has Exotic Deer always been the mid player for the team? I could have sworn he at least used to be their safe lane player. Yeah, even on Liquipedia, he's labeled as their safe lane player, but he's been playing mid in most of these games I've noticed for today. Where Nisha has instead been playing the safe lane role, so I don't know if that's something that they're just simply trying out or if it's actually a permanent change, perhaps. But I was gonna say, I could have sworn I've casted Kinguin enough to, at least in the past, to know that. Yeah, no, Exotic Deer definitely known for playing Lone Druid as well as one of his more go-to heroes that we've seen him pick up.
30 seconds to battle.
All right, so laning phase coming about. We have Mag up here on Sand King, set up to be matched up against the Phantom Lancer Witch Doctor currently. The Radiant side do something aggressive here. I guess, yeah, they probably could just have the Elder Titan up here. He did go boots first. He's going to rush towards the Bounty Rune with the Sand King, and Radiant side should be able to get this.
The battle begins.
Phantom Lancer, Witch Doctor. In fact, Witch Doctor, he's going to cast, cause a little bit of an issue, but that'll be it. Mag will pick up the Bounty Rune. Exotic Deer gets both the Bounty Runes, though, on the other side, so he's feeling pretty comfortable early on. Night Stalker doing a good job blocking for him, and it will be the Shadow Fiend mid. So, again, wondering if we're going to see maybe the Shadow Fiend safe lane to try to set up a better time. But I guess, okay, I forgot about this. Bane with the Enfeeble spam will help his cause, no doubt. So, Exotic Deer, you see the Enfeebles up, and all of a sudden he's hitting much less harder. So, that is the thing with Bane. That's, I think, why some teams still kind of value Bane highly, because this in itself didn't necessarily get nerfed. Just Enfeeble did. Now that I mentioned that, I believe Enfeeble did get slightly nerfed. Didn't the duration or something? Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at this quality of life change. Enfeeble duration from 20, and now it's scaled. So yeah, it's not as long at the earlier levels, but still 14 seconds. It's only an 8-second cooldown, so technically you can still have it up, obviously, well beyond 100% uptime. So. I guess really that nerf didn't necessarily hurt too much in the end. Just forces him to use a little bit more mana, though. I guess that's how you can look at it. And it's 95 mana each time he does use it. So it is a nerf. It definitely is a nerf. But again, some teams like Kinguin here still preferring to run with it. Or Double Dimension, excuse me. Really for that reason alone, if anything. But yeah, so far, You have Shadow Fiend 3-2, Viper 3-0. Witch Doctor's coming in, so we've seen this a lot of trialing. All of a sudden, middle lane, Void use, but Shadow Fiend, he'll be fine having to back off, pop an early salve. Yeah, Milan, he's in the area. Only has his Astral Spirit, though. He has 0 experience so far this game, so no Echo Stomp just yet. So not much he can really do, other than trying to go for the Bounty Rune, which he gets there short. Phantom Lancer doing a good job controlling that. Bottom lane, though, this Enchantress, Orb of Venom, double Fairy Fire. She's feeling good early on. She is 4-4, 8-2 on the Pugna, so as I say that, Pugna's actually doing much better in the laning phase, but when it comes to last hit potential, Patos definitely set up to do so. Ooh, Doppelganger. Nisha will be fine as he gets away at the top lane here. But yeah, middle matchup, going to continue to keep an eye on that. And actually, Shadow Fiend is managing much better. 8-4 versus a 5-0 Viper. So that Enfeeble spam is definitely hurting the Viper in the earlier laning phase. But you do see Bane has now run out of mana to an extent, so can't do that much longer until he regens. Arcane Rune. Katsor. I've been told it's pronounced Katsor, Kasor, Kakor. I'm going to go with Katsor, but I've been told many different things. Anyways, middle lane, they're going to dive right here. It's not nighttime just yet, but still level 1 Void, Arcane Rune spam. J4 running away, though. He's fine. Meanwhile, TP in from the other Titan. Again, he's still only level 1. So without that Echo Stomp, they're not necessarily too scared of him. Night Stalker going to be slowing down a little bit, but he'll just kind of walk it off, so not a big deal. I see Witch Doctor actually TPing back to base, finding himself still in a precarious spot. All right, top lane, though, I assume Mag's doing all right. He's 9-6 up here against an 18-4 Phantom Lancer. So, wow, PL's actually having a fantastic time at that top lane. A little bit, I feel like that's a little bit surprising, right? You'd think a Caustic Finale with Sand King and everything should be able to potentially do pretty well up here, but was there support up in the early game? I mean, Witch Doctor maybe at the very beginning, but he's been middle now for most of this, so yeah, it's picking up a little bit, but Phantom Lancer is still dominating. Doing much better even. Okay, it is nighttime though, so of course much more significant from the Night Stalker. And what he can potentially do right here. Bottom lane, Witch Doctor's rotating in. Only level 1 Maledict though. Don't know if they're going to be able to kill him, although the Tornado from behind, not going to necessarily hit him initially. The Maledict is out though. The Cask needed to bounce back, but it actually might not matter even. Yes, first blood. At least I get it. I thought without the Cask bouncing back, they weren't going to do enough damage, but boy, was I wrong. That was plenty of damage right there, coming out by the Dire side. So first blood happens about 4.5 minutes into the game. In favor of Team Kinguin, Elisa was playing on apparently was playing on that Smurf yesterday. What was the name of it? Hubert or something like that.
Gotcha.
We were told that that was him, though, so. Bottom lane, Ditya. Cask comes out. Again, is this going to be back-to-back deaths? The Cask bounces back a third time, even. Another Cinder Shockwave with that Maledict up. And yeah, they're going to avoid Shockwave. Is that enough damage? They're just going to dive this. The TP got canceled, whoever that was. He decrepifies himself, actually. He's going to stay alive for the time being as a result of that regen kicking in. Nether Blast use, and yes, Ditya will stay alive. Kassor trying to hunt him down throughout the trees, but it's not going to be enough. Great jukes right there from Ditya, ultimately to stay alive, even at 9 wand charges. So worst case, he could have popped that. It's Katzor. It's Polish slang for hangover. Is it really? Fun times. Oh, Milan, he goes down. Nisha was very low himself, actually, but he might actually still go down. Yeah, Mag will get credit for the kill. So Utter Titan falls, but definitely a worthy trade. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Night Stalker, he is going to fall as well. Ditya getting some more revenge there as he kills him, and will gladly pick up the 6-minute rune in the process.
Invisibility.
So Katzor. So that's what I thought, yeah. Right? That's what I said the first time? I don't know.
I'll take that.
All right, I'll try to remember that. Thanks for the insight, Twitch chat. Always come through. Oh my god, that double raise.
Soil.
Viper. Where did you go, man?
I'll take your tribute.
kind of build is he going for? He does have the 2 points in corrosive skin. How is Nether Tox in this game, by the way? I always kind of forget about that he now has that break. And so, like, oh yeah, that's right. You know, how is that this game? It's not really that good, actually, is it? There's nothing really that significant you're breaking. I guess the natural order on Elder Titan's okay, but it's not that big of a deal. Middle matchup, 33 and 18 Shadowfiend. Not only does he have that kill, but boy, is he having a great time. So Excalibur, props to him. Again, the enfeeble spam early on, no doubt to kind of think as well. Not that it's been all him, but the fact that he's this far ahead of the Viper is pretty impressive. And here I was concerned that him going mid might have been an issue. What do I know? Nice sleep right there. They're going to get one raise. Exotic Deer doing the smart thing. He's like, all right, you only have one short raise. I'm just going to man up. He does have supports coming in. They're going to kill him in the end. But now this might set up the turn kill at least. So Excalibur, yep, the cask bouncing around. Not back to him, not even needed though. Milan, he's going to walk it off. So that was a smart decision from Viper. Because again, if he tries to run right there, he gets raised comboed and he's dead anyway. So at least he did as much damage as possible. Although it looked funny. He did set up that turn kill. So props to him there. But again, good initiation in the first place from the Radiant side. To catch the Viper. Pug now. Okay, for some reason I thought that was a point booster. I was like, geez, is he going straight Ags now? He's going to finish the Arcane Boots. See if he probably gets that 8th lens eventually. Sand King, he misses it on Nisha, but he does get it on a Witch Doctor. Channels up the epicenter, but Nisha able to just kind of walk away. Could it be slow for the time being? The stomp will connect, but again, he already used the epicenter. Another Bro Strike, though, in 1 second. Uses it right here. Phantom Lancer Doppelganger over the ledge. He's fine. Yeah, he needed to line up both, but it was a tough angle. He wanted the sure kill on the one hero. And Nisha, oh wow, he's not even out of the woods just yet. In fact, he's going to get caught with the Bro Strike again. And the auto attack, no, the Shrine! He pops the Shrine at the last second. He just had enough life to get there. And now the turret potential's real. Mag's in trouble. Nautic level 2 put up on him. Viper and Night Stalker joining the party. Mag's going to fall here on the Sand King and Elder Titan. Walking the other way. Going to go uphill. Slowing down, though, by these poison attacks. I don't think Milan's getting out of this one. Cask will hit him. And one more attack, actually not even needed. Poison attack. That dot is too much. And Milan goes down. So great response from Kinguin. The fact that Nisha survived. That was clutch. Are we going to see a Helm of the Dominator build here on Phantom Lancer? Or is this going to be a Battle Fury? I wonder. We've been seeing a lot of Helm of the Dominator. Yesterday, we had games, there was multiple. We saw Tide Hunters picking up Helm of the Dominator. There was like a Sand King, I think, one game. Carries. I mean, it's just... apparently, the Helm of the Dominator bet is back, but no, it is going to be the Battle Fury. Which in itself, I am a little... having conversations with some about that, especially after that recent nerf with it no longer working with illusions. Again, PL and Terrorblade are the two heroes that come to mind of... is it really worth getting on them anymore? And it seems like it's been a mixed consensus. We've seen games where it's still picked up. We've seen others where they just go straight into the old school build. As Ditya, he'll escape. Well played. Good old Degrepify. Pretty strong ability sometimes. We are going to see one on Viper, though. That being the Helm of the Dominator, that is. But yeah, Battle Fury, a little more greedy. More oh, Mag, he gets juked by the Doppelganger. That was a late reaction too, but the Epicenter goes off with the Echo Stomp, and it's actually Double Dimension that has the last laugh right there. Nisha got a little ballsy in the face of both the Elder Titan and the Sand King, and that bites him in the ass there. Oh, my apologies. Let's get that net worth going. Top lane, Enchantress, they're going to dive him. J4 is rotating in, no Fiend's Grip just yet. Not needed, he didn't even need Brains out. Viper TP's in. Oh, they sleep Witch Doctor over here. Nether Ward's put down as well. So the Radiant team is definitely ready to fight this more. And Viper, he needs to respect that. Drain Life, will take away a bit of his life. Mag, ooh, he thought about it. He turned around at the last second, though. Night Stalker's also TPing in. Not nighttime just yet. He does not have his level 6 either. Exotic Deer going to be stunned eventually. Went back in, but at what cost? The Nether Blast hits, killing spree for Dityaroff as a result of that. And Night Stalker, again, in daytime, this is a completely different hero, goes without saying. And he's so close to level 6. He even has the tome purchased, but not on him currently. So this is not only going to be a top tower kill, but can they find Night Stalker? They absolutely can.
Is under attack.
Katsor, he's trying to run. Gets caught by the stomp. He's actually good for now. No, he's not. Right as I say that, he just collapsed.
Finish it.
Alright, so easy tower kill on top of the Night Stalker kill, and things are moving nicely for Double Dimension. And their team fight presence really strong, but coming out of the landing phase here, they also have a Shadow Fiend that's very farmed, and did call it here. He's so I'm going to pat myself on the back real quickly. I'm literally patting myself on the back. I don't know if you can hear that or not. But no, it makes sense. More physical. This is also, drums in general, speaking of high-value items recently, the great tempo item. And it's good to at least have one pair of drums on the team. So it's going to go that into the SNY. Does he need a BKB this game? As that's a kill on Enchantress. BKB would be good against the Enchantress. In general, this game it's okay. I don't know if he needs to rush it next, but honestly, a Silver Edge here, a break effect for Double Dimension would be pretty good. But I don't know if Shadow Fiend's gonna invest that much into a Shadow Blade Silver Edge. Prioritize it at least. Katsor, he gets got. Echo Stomp should set up the inevitable kill. Echo Stomp's such a good setup this game. Especially with the Nether Blast, you have the Requiem. This really is a well-drafted lineup at Double Dimension. It's becoming more and more clear. So Viper's just simply trying to do what he can in the jungle for now. Again, the Helm of the Dominator almost finished. But the greedy decision of Nisha, it's good and bad. It's bad in the sense that he's not really remotely ready to fight yet. But hey, if Kinguin can at least hold things from getting too out of hand in the next 10 minutes or so, then Phantom Lancer will become quite the issue.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Pugna just TP's away. He did go the 8th lens, and he actually goes his own drums too. Okay, so goes back to yeah, like to have drums. Both him and Shadow Fiend. 6 charges, good to go. Shadow Fiend prioritizing the Sage first, even. Sand King, Blink is ready. Epicenter as well. They see him, they're going to jump him. It's like they saw him the whole time. They were just trying to be patient with it, but do they have enough damage? They do not. And now some turn potential. Patos. Ooh, they're not going to see him, I guess. Yeah, because again, Mag with that blink definitely has the reach, but
Dire's
unable to find anybody.
Is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top
Katsor, he's still hanging around. This Dire side still trying to find some pickoffs. And oh, actually Bane by himself kinda, but not really. Nightmare Initiation. Witch Doctor's in the area, but he's not saving his teammate. He needs to get out. Okay, well, maybe set up a turn kill. No, her splitter just destroys Night Stalker. And yeah, nothing more that Elisa can do. While this is all happening, there's Pugna pushing top lane, by the way. Nether Blast, pretty good ability for pushing towers, as I've heard. As Enchantress will TP in. Try to stop that at least a little bit. Viper and Witch Doctor, they're being patient. They want to stick around and maybe try to make a kill happen on Shadow Fiend. He does have a Death Ward. It's so risky, though, because, yeah, the support's nearby. In fact, they catch Phantom Lancer. The Fiend script on the real one from J4. He's going to doppelganger initially, though, and keep on running. Mag, is he going to look to stun? He sure is. Bro strikes in. He's by himself. Curly goes for the channel, the Epicenter. He gets it off, actually. Thought it was going to be stopped. The cast coming out eventually and the life drain to take out Night Stalker, but now 5% of the fight. The Death Ward, the Requiem from a distance. Oh, with the Echo Stomp, Exotic Deer is going to fall, and Patos has to keep his distance, as does PL, just sending an illusion. So, somewhat back and forth, but in the end, double dimension, 2-for-1 exchange in their favor. PL, he's already TP'd to the top lane. Holy crap. Yeah, I didn't even notice that until that was pointed out. Viper's level 8. And Shadow Fiend's level 14. Wow. Viper has just not been having a game at all. And he has the Helm of the Dominator now, but oh no, Enchantress nearly dying to the Pugna combo. Echo Stomp, did it connect? No. Heal's coming out. So Enchantress staying alive for the time being. SNY, though, has been delivered to Shadow Fiend. And you have Sand King sitting up at the top lane. So PL, lucky for him, he's farming off to the side. They still see PL, but oh, they're trying to catch him. Actually, TP. Oh, the Burrow Strike hits. The first raise missed. Nisha, can he somehow escape? Doppelganger away. Another blast connects, though. And Nisha, yeah, you're not getting out of there. Great Burrow Strike from Mag. That was less than a half a second even from TPing away. Sand King's had a hell of a game. 5,300 net worth. He's got Blink. He's building a Yules now. His bottom lane, Bane. He's got that Fiend's Grip set up, ready to go. They're going to find him, though. J4. Oh, nice stomp, though. And actually, he's going to sleep the Viper. Echo, the Epicenter, excuse me, coming to the back lines, and they will end up dropping Night Stalker. Patos barely surviving. They do kill J4. Well, Viper falls in response as well. Patos going to hope for the TP. Stun. It's going to connect. The sleep into a Burrow Strike into no chance of survival for Milan. So it just continues to get worse and worse right now for Kinguin. How's that Battle Fury coming along? So PL does have a Battle Fury. But now the question is, will they be able to make this game last long enough for that to truly matter?
Fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom tower, maybe denied at least. No.
Dire's bottom tower.
Make sure that doesn't happen. So you have level 15 on Pugna, who actually didn't get his level 15 talent unless he's thinking about it. I assume the Nether Blast cooldown. Oh, he went Dagon, by the way. Nice. Dagon's a little interesting. It's great against the likes of something like an Enchantress or even a PL, but find the real one. But yeah, Corrosive Skin on Viper makes it a little bit funky, but at the same time, I don't think you're too concerned about Viper this game. Nisha, oh no. If he dies again right here, Dagon's already hit. That's a life drain. Nisha, he just used his Doppelganger to get illusions to farm with. And little did he know they were right there to gank him. Well played by Double Dimension so far. Making the fullest of this draft. And Shadow Fiend is going to go that BKB next. So, yeah, with the way the game's playing out too, they clearly don't need more damage.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So they get more freedom for the Shadow Fiend. Tempting Roshan right now. Peel's not up for another 20 seconds, so the fact that Kinguin's even in the area trying to stop this is a little risky.
Denied.
It is enough to deter them from doing Roshan, though.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Night Stalker trying to finish a Spirit Vessel, which, as always, will be pretty strong in this game. Especially against the likes of a Pugna. It's almost surprising to me that heal-based heroes like a Pugna are still able to be so effective despite Spirit Vessel now being in the game. But I guess at the same time, you know, in like Pugna's case, he's not like, he's more so using it for the damage than he is using it to try to keep himself alive a lot of the time, to be fair, so. Spirit Vessel is so strong, though. So they just take an Ancient stack right there on the dire side. Double Dimension, of course. BKB's finished on Shadow Fiend.
Dire's middle tower
They literally cannot stop this Shadow Fiend right now. And their damage is not nearly enough of a threat either at this point.
Dire's middle
So
tower
understandable
is
Double
under
Dimension,
attack.
just pushing a tier 2 middle tower despite no Aegis or anything like that. Very strong team fight, etc. We've been over it. J4, he's really up here. He's hoping for a jump. He's going to be silenced up in the back line. Shadow Fiend, he's dealing with somebody else, but the life drain on it. Night Stalker. That distance, man, almost enough to get the kill, but Katsor will survive for the time being. Now, Dire Side is running them out. Mag is going to Sandstorm and back off. PL's not here for the time being, by the way. So far, a pretty good hold from Kinguin, considering. PL's actually pushing out the bottom lane. Double Dimension not wanting to overextend.
Under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's
Both
bottom
Pugna and
tower
Shadow Fiend
is
still
under
have 4
attack.
charges of their drums. So they haven't even had to use that really too often yet. Ooh, Mag was kind of hoping they were going to be pushing uphill, but unless Viper does, they might still even go on Viper. Oh, they know he's in the area, but Viper running away. Pugna's ready to counter push the bottom lane, as that may come into play here. But instead, the rest of Double Dimension will go back to Roshan. Oh. Meanwhile, I was like, I'll find a kill. To Elisa. To grab Dagon pretty strong. Not the quickest killing Roshan team. No medallion or anything like that. In fact, Bane's working on one, but doesn't have it yet. But still. Just way too much fighting presence from Double Dimension for Kinguin to even attempt to stop this. So it's going to be the free Roshan. Aegis on Shadow Fiend, I'm guessing. Yep. There you go. Shadow Fiend with the attack speed into the movement speed
Radiant's
here.
bottom tower
So yeah,
is
that
under
level
attack.
10 talent is usually pretty telling of how we're going to see the Shadow Fiend build. God, that damage. Not enough to kill him, but I mean, this is Nisha here that is just trying to find farm anywhere he can, man. So, forces him out of the jungle. And to TP back to base. Where the other cores of Kinguin, again, not much really going for them. The Hooded Defiance has been on Enchantress for a while, and almost has a 4-staff finish, which is big. You see Viper still just basically a Helm of the Dominator, Ring of Aquila, but working on his own Hood. Has 2,400. Okay, he's thinking. I was going to say it's 2,400, so you obviously can buy it, but he's like, maybe I'll get a BKB instead. So it's going to be a bit longer. Bottom lane. Pugna, though, TPing in. Witch Doctor, I don't know if that cast was worth it, buddy. Lisa just kind of walking up. Take this. I guess he was just trying to stall them as much as possible, but they get a free kill.
Has fallen.
To be fair, his resurrection is pretty quick, so maybe not the biggest deal. This tier 3 tower already melting away, though, man. Nether Strike does so much damage, and actually, another blast, excuse me, Sand King gonna initiate. Enchantress is dead with no buyback for 55. They're gonna lose Viper. They just cannot stop this snowball of Double Dimension. Kinguin's, of course, gonna attempt their best, and Double Dimension is playing it fairly safe considering as a buyback happens on Viper. But Enchantress is not up for 40 seconds. Like, what are they scared of, really? I mean, PL does have a BKB now, so
Dire's bottom
there's a little more
tower
freedom in
has
these
fallen.
fights, but they kill the tier 3. They're just going to reset. More Nether Blast, and there's the BKB activated. Nisha just going man mode, trying to make a play in the background. Nice Stalkers having to deal with the Sand King in the face. As the Ear Splitter goes down, the lockdown from Bane as well with the Fiend's Grip on a Phantom Lance, so the BKB essentially useless at that point. There's no buybacks. This should be it in favor of Double Dimension. GG, well played. Double Dimension going to take game number 1 here
Are under attack.
in this best of 3 in fairly dominating fashion, I gotta
Radiant
say.
victory.
I mean, nothing against. It's interesting with Kinguin because Kinguin has been struggling a little bit. Kinguin for a while this season has kind of been considered a this team that's really breaking into the scene more and more. Obviously, they've been around, they've been together for a long time, but I've been fairly impressed with their play. Of course, throughout earlier parts of this year, they've qualified for a couple of minors. They've qualified for a major, if I'm not mistaken, even. So they've been competing very well, but with the new surge of these European teams that have been made going into the roster lock, they're finding themselves struggling a little bit from the DAC qualifiers to now this one here in GESC. But again, the series is not over yet, so not to act like it's in the books for Kinguin by any means. But getting knocked down in the first place by the final tribe yesterday, and now down 1-0 against Double Dimension. So we'll see kind of fight they have left in them to force at least a game 3. But on the other side of it, Double Dimension, that was an impressive game. That was one of your cleaner games we've seen lately as far as just very well played all around and across the board, from the draft itself to laning phase to just finishing the game in a good 27 even minutes. Look at that. So something about this just is so nice to see. 27 kills, 27 minutes even. Impressive stuff. So Double Dimension, they take it. Again, up 1-0 here in the GESC Indonesian European qualifiers. So once again, guys, I'm Bricky CBK, tuning into the qualifying coverage. We're just getting kicked off for the day. We got game number 2 coming up right here. Stay tuned. Short break coming up. We'll be right back.